Hi, it's Gang here. How are you guys doing?
And this is your co-host Sean. So finally, our first episode here, and we have some guests.
So we are here with two amazing guests. One of them is from classes 27 and one is from classes 26. Please welcome Mian, Minya and Eight. Yeah. So before we actually start, Minya, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you so much, for having us today. I'm really excited to be, the first, to be a part of the first episode of the Parami podcast, so which is called Off the Syllabus. So thank you so much, Gongkan and also Michelle as well. So I'm Yim Yat, and you can call me Yim Yat as well. I'm now a sophomore year at Parami University, and I'm also serving as a president at Parami Boys Setting. So yeah, nice to meet you all.
Yeah, so I'm really grateful to be here and thank you for having me, Measure and Gong. That was such a fabulous experience. It will be, I guess. And so nice to meet you all. My name is Ain't That Mu, and I'm from class of 2026. So I'm currently in my junior years at Parham University. And apart from that, I'm also a president of Public Speaking and Debate Club at Parham as well. Nice to see you.
So today episode it's about it's a little bit controversial. It's about like Gen Z. What does like Gen Z thinks about being anai? So before we actually start, we will introduce like to the listener about the concept of like anai. If you live in Myanmar, if you grew up here, you will totally understand it. It's like it's a term that is like culturally rooted in Myanmar, and we use it to express feeling sorry or feeling very thankful, grateful to somebody, especially used in working with hierarchies. And for the Westerners, it might actually like doesn't translate in your culture, or if you're not in Myanmar, it might not actually directly translate to it. But like in some of the Asian countries like Thailand or Japan's like they also have their own way of like expressing these feelings being anai. So we're gonna have to like take on this. Machine, would you like to start with the first question?
Okay, so like we said, like anade can be translated in every language, right? Would you consider yourself as the anade type? Yes, I'm gonna go first for the question. So I would say it would depends on which situations I'm in. Sometimes I becomes a very shy and very anare types of person. And sometimes I would be like very bold and I don't feel anare at all to particular kinds of people or to particular kinds of things. So by depending on which situations I'm in, I think I think I can, adjust my boundary as a okay, I anare, so I don't do this. And sometimes no, I shouldn't Anna. So I just talk it out loud or I just speak it out loud. So I but most of the times I feel very limited and very unable to ask for help. And most of the times, if it is a person that deserves to help me, that deserves to give her assistance, give a hand to me, I will say that okay, I give the person so many help and I so this isn't hard for them. This isn't gonna help for some kind of like a boring activity for them to help me as a gesture or showing appreciation of them as for my assistance. So I don't feel honored to them, this kind of thing. So I to conclude, I would base on which situations I'm in to consider myself as a type of honored person. Okay, then how about you, Mimie? Are you also the honored type?
Uh, yeah, kind of. So I think if I have to, translate another into English, I think the closer meaning or the closer definition would be like you being hesitant to do something, or you being hesitant, to accept something from somebody else, right? So I used to be, frankly speaking, I used to be that kind of person who usually feel honored a lot every situation, almost every situation, right? So whatever it is formal or whatever it is casual situation as well. Because uh, sometimes, and I'm thinking the same thing, like, sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm really hesitant to do this thing or that thing, right? So especially I feel honored there when I got some, assistance or some help from my friends, from my family member, from anybody else, right? or I'm getting some kind of gift or some kind of thing from the other person, and I feel like honored at that time. But when I was young, all I know about is that being honored. That's it. I don't feel any other thing, or I don't even know any other situation or any other feeling. But I'm thinking that I've been thinking these days, like, am I really hesitant to accept you know such kind of have or such kind of things from the other people, or am I need to appreciate their approach or their effort, kind of like that. So I would say that yes, I used to be another type a lot in the past, but these days I'm trying to be a different person, kind of be a kind of flexible and kind of polite person in the situation. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I think like we all can relate to that, being very like hesitant to just like ask for help or like to express our feelings. I think it has happened to all of us. What I would like to know more is like, is there like particular moment that you feel Anna? Like when do you usually like feel it? Like how does it get to you? Yeah. Nina, would you like to go first?
Okay, so I think I can give you some kind of some kind of personal experience or kind of like that. So like I said, especially uh being another when I feel another, especially when I got something, how can I say, some gifts or some kind of support from the other people, whatever it is, my friend or my family member or the other person in workplace. So I usually feel that way, because I'm not it's kind of like a hesitant to accept such kind of thing, such kind of system, right? So and I keep saying Anna that, oh, it's okay. I'm Anna that it's okay, and kind of like that. So, but it doesn't necessarily mean I don't need help from them or I don't need any other gifts from them. But at the same time, I need them, right? I need their support. I need their, how can I say, assistance or helpful things that can helpful to me, right? So I need them. But I'm feeling like another kind of like that. But at the same time, I'm feeling like oh, that's the thing that I need to think about, to appreciate their effort or their their system, kind of like that. So I would say like in particular situation, like I'm getting some pocket money from my family member or some some kind of gift or some kind of fruit from the other people in workplace or some kind of system in workplace as well, right? So I'm feeling honored in that situation. Yes.
Yeah, you walk us through like so many like different scenarios and examples, and we can clearly understand what you're going through.
I also have an example of what Nina said about like when we want to like refuse something that we receive, but we couldn't receive it the right day outright, right? We can reject it outright. So that's when my dad always say in that situation, maybe we could say like, hey, a hint is just, oh, you're just like trying to react to that gift. But then you will say, it's me, yes. So it's like it's also like the kind of same as like how we are saying anare, but we are also like trying to in your mind you say like mure, kind of like that. So we are saying that anabare, kind of like that, right? So I think that is also like a really good example. So yeah, hey, would you like to continue?
So the things is, I agree with what Mimia points and just Machon just discussed. That's a very great example how we really love gift, but at the same time to feel a bit shy and embarrassed to receive them from strangers or from father friends or this kind of thing. And when it's come to my personal experience, I usually feel honored to ask for help from other person, but most of the times they say I ask for academic help or some professionally, this kind of thing. The thing is, I find it difficult to help to other people when I'm in a very busy schedules, but I'm still happy to do that because being able to help me, being able to support it to other people, I'm able to help. So like I becomes a great system for them. That's feel very great, and I feel grateful for the opportunity to get to help. So I feel very happy to help other people. But when it's come to me and when I have to ask for other people for help, I feel really anare because I totally relate that they might have busy schedule. They might have overwhelmed day. They might have a very exhausting hours after, after an exams or after interviews or whatever it is. So I feel a bit constrained to ask for help because I don't know what's happening to that day. But if I have to ask to help to my very close friends, I don't feel annoyed because I know them, I know what's happening to them. But if even though I don't know, they might want to talk it out. They might be like, no, I have a very long day. I can't help you out, and I don't feel anything at all to hear for that. But if I asking for someone who don't really close with me, I feel very constrained to ask for help because I don't know what's happening to them. And if I would like, will they be annoyed by my request? Will they be kind of feel very annoying of me? And whether relationships whether communication between that person can go ruined just because of my request, just because they have a long day and they feel very frustrated when they have when they find that they have a very long day and they find that they have to help someone again and they feel very frustrated. So things can go wrong with the communication between that two persons. So I feel honored to that kind of thing. So that's what my personal experience so far.
This feeling of like being anai comes when we actually like need the help we want the help from that person, but at the same time we're so worried that like we'll overstep the boundaries. So I think like this feeling is very common that whenever we're in that kind of situation. And then I just want to know like one more thing is that like I mean, like you guys have been to like other like countries, and before we invite you guys, we actually did some research about you guys, and then I think you both of you guys have like done amazing job, amazing works in the 2 years of being in Parliament. I think Amy is in her like third year, right? Yeah, just one more year to go. Yeah. And so like in those years, you guys have been to like separate exchange programs and you guys have worked with like people from different countries, different backgrounds. So like in those like moments, like is there a situation where you feel like you should be feeling Anai, or you should be feeling like, no, it just not, I don't have to feel Anai, I just have to get the work done. So is there any like scenario or situation?
Communicating with people from different culture finds really difficult sometimes because we have a very different cultural values, and the things that like in my community saying thank you, it's very rare, especially in the but I don't mean for that the younger generation but when we communicate with the older generation. So as for example, when I go buy something and I say thank you to that shopkeeper, and the shopkeeper will like, what? Why do you say thank you to me? But this kind of thing. I'm just saying thank you, just a gesture. I don't mean anything. Maybe I would feel really thankful for that person, but that doesn't have a very heavy meaning. But for them, there's a very heavy meaning. But in the very formal or in the very academic occasion, we say thank you a lot. Whenever we even they hand me a business card, I say, oh, thank you. I will look up into that. This kind of things, like the small conversations and thank you. But when it's come to the anare, that's not very common. But in the international community, we talk a lot about the work done. We just need to make it out. We just need to finish it up. For example, if we are doing the presentation in tomorrow, but we don't meet the person that need in the groups, then the person is not coming. So we can just feel honored to ask them to come out of the room and do the work, but we just have to. We have to do this because we need to finish it, and this is a group work, so we need everyone's opinions upon that. So we can just be constrained to call for that person, even though we don't know what the person have been going through. So I think in that kind of situation, we just have to overstep the boundary and talk to the person. We have this assignment due tomorrow. We have the presentation due tomorrow. So would you be able to come over? And if he is not, all the people are totally okay and totally understand. We just need the reason why the person can be here, right? So when working in and whatever it is, academic or whatever is a professional workplace, most of the times, most of the workplace, most of the academic setting, we are not able to feel honored because this kind of things may limit us from being able to work done. So in order to able to finish it all, accomplish it all, we don't need to feel honored. We just need to make it a way to find when the person have been going on what's keeping him from finishing the task, this kind of thing.
Yeah, I think like Ing actually raised a very good, interesting point here. Like instead of just, just like feeling sorry and being anai and just waiting for the person, and instead that like you actually like analyze and take action, you're being proactive, like you have to get job done. And I think that you actually express it in a really like very understandable way. What about Mimia experience with this one? Like, do you have anything?
We just need to, how can I say, distinguish or kind of like realize ourselves in which situation are we in, for example, right? So maybe are we really feeling hesitant to do that thing or to accept, support from the other person, get something from the other person, right? So, or maybe are we really need to, just need to appreciate their effort or their assistance to us, right? Which is helpful, right? So, right. So, for example, like am I really, can I say, for example, in the situation, for example, in workplace or in the academic setting, am I, I'm getting assistance from my friends for assignment, or I'm getting, support, which is related to the, classwork assignment from my advisor. So maybe I do also feel like the same way, being honored. So, and I keep saying like, oh, kind of like, in English, I kind of like, I'm sorry, or I'm honored, or kind of like that. But at the same time, I'm just thinking that, like, maybe I might need to, do I need to take a moment to appreciate, that support, that support, that given us to, that given to us, right? So I did, as long as we clear or we kind of like clear in that situation, clear to identify such kind of situation, maybe, to know how to approach to that ambiguous situation, be honored or being sorry. That's so, and then right. So especially when you're communicating or when you are interacting with the other people, lots of from lots of different background, that can be in culture or that can be in academic or professional work or life experience as well. So you are interacting with so many people from diverse background, right? So in that situation, there's so like things mentioned, there's so many culture shock can be implied in the situation. So we really need to be careful about even small things that we do, in interacting with them, right? In terms of manner, in terms of communicating, or in terms of speaking, right? So, and also I feel like the same, like, being another is also the same way, like, my mom always told me, like, why you always such a person to keep saying another when it comes to the elderly or when it comes to the other people, when they are giving some support to you or when they are giving some pocket money or some, gift to you, right? So maybe you just need to take it or just accept it, just appreciate that support, and then you feel, you say thank you to them, right? Extremely a kind of being another can be, I would say, like, can be me in other culture, right? So especially when you are interacting with the professional work, or especially when you are interacting with the other person in your community. So it's kind of like a found of, you being resistant or you being persistent to what you want to do instead of realizing or instead of paying attention to their effort or to their action, kind of like that, right? So and then in that situation, the things might not get work done efficiently or quickly or kind of like that. So I always tell myself that in such kind of situation, maybe what if I why don't you take a moment to realize the situation? Are you really feeling honored there, or are you really feeling hesitant to accept support and things from the other public, from the other person, or you just need to you just need to take a moment to appreciate that effort, right? So and then when you realize that kind of situation, I think it's done and done, especially informal situation in workplace, right? So in casual conversation with your friends, it's totally fine, like exact. So you asking the person, you asking your friend to to do a favor for you in terms of assignment or in terms of some other personal thing, and then your friend is really having a tight schedule on that day, or maybe tired work or tired assignment, and your friend saying no to you, and you may not feel nothing, just because of denying, how can I say, system from that, right? But when you got denied, your request to get assistance from the other partner, maybe like in workplace or in other people that you don't familiar with, that so much familiar with. So you may feel something or kind of like that. So that's when it comes to, I think that's the time you need to, how can I say, clear the air, or you need to make sure that, the efficient or clear communication with them. So my point is that, like, being honest can be interpreted, into some form of, how can I say, some form of mean and, bad man demeanor in some culture. So yeah, that's why, yeah, that's what I think. I've been doing the same. I've been, how can I say, that's kind of strategy that I use to approach such kind of ambiguous situation when it comes to being honest or being sorry.
Yeah, like being worried and being like being very mindful about like overstepping the boundary. It's good, but at the same time, like you just need to like take some of the help some of the time and then just say thank you instead. Don't just like be there and just say no to all the help, and then you're gonna turn out to be a mean person if you keep doing it. Yeah, I totally get it. For the another question, would you like to go?
Okay, so I think like this is a continuation from what Nimya said. So like you said, in some situation, right? Is it better to use Anna or is it better to use sorry? Is there like any other alternative way that we can express this better? So let's say I think both of you have mentioned like you are using this Anna day as a casual, like kind of like not really a conversation, right? It's more like casual to express like the a feeling that we can reject but we love kind of like that. So what do you think, like do you think sometimes in some situation is it better to use Anna or is it better to use sorry?
Yes. So when you talk about the question, the first thing that reminds me of it's the terms that we use when we are formally writing the email. So when we write an email, instead of we say, would you can you help me these things? Instead we say, it would be my greater pleasure if you could help me with this kind of things, or please reply to it instead of as soon as possible. We say that please reply to at your earliest convenience. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Blah 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 blah. We say in a very formally, not to bother any other person's feelings or any other person day. So that's really reflect the situation. When we say anare, we don't want to ruin a person's feelings or a person's emotion with some kind of ungrateful gesture with that. So when we say anare and when we use anare gesture to person, is like we're saying and we're showing the sincere appreciation to the person help, or sincere emotion to that person. We really thanks for your help, and we really feel honored to take your schedule. We really feel honored to take your busy day, but we feel really grateful to you. I think we are using honored to express the appreciation. So I think it is also a way of expressing the gratitude. As well. So when we use when we say the terms anare and or sorry, I think it would just depends on what situations we are in, and I would say that intuitions know which one should we use. Should we use the sorry? But we will see that that's the person seem really annoyed, but by helping to us. So I think we really should say, I'm really sorry to bother you. I feel really sorry, blah blah blah, with this kind of filler words. But when the person seems doesn't bother by us, when the person seems happy to help, we should say we really honor, but you're really great. We're really grateful to to have you here, and that was really great. Very excellent experience or whatever it is. This kind of thing. So I think based on the situation, we should use the term. But whenever we say anare for having someone help or someone support, I think we're just saying respect, we're just showing the appreciation, and we're being formally making the person feel great to help, to give the time, to give the every intellectual property or every physical property that they own.
I think I really love that example of writing an email, because us, we are students too. Like we write a lot of academic papers, right? Like in there, like sometimes we want to be frank about our opinions or what we think about this matter, but we can't really be frank about it, right? We just have to like use some in the right words to express those things. So I think that is a great example of what being Anna is also. So, Nimi, are you okay to continue?
Okay, so yeah, I would say like this depend on your individual preference, right? And also in what situation are you interacting with? Maybe you may be interacting with the other, the person in workplace or the other people in your community. Maybe you just interacting with their friends or in a casual conversation, right? So and the other thing is like, I also think that this is something which is related to culture shock, right? So for some phrases or for some, expression to get, or in order to get the real meaning or in order to get the, the sufficient meaning, we need to say it in Burmese or we need to say it in your language, right? So for example, instead of saying thank you, you saying Jesus would be so meaningful to the other person. So, and I used to be the person a lot because I used to say, sorry or thank you a lot to the other people whenever, regardless of their age or regardless of any formal or casual conversation. Right. So, but when I got reply from somebody like such kind of reply, sorry or thank you, I feel that, oh my God, are they really, you know, referring to that term sorry, or they're just saying it without emotional thing or without any feelings. They don't really mean it or kind of thing. So like so, but when I got reply, Jesus like another kind of like that. I feel satisfied by their response that they are actually meaning it. They're actually giving response with emotional feelings or they really meaning it, that kind of feeling I got. So that's why I used to feel like oh my God, am I also feeling like the same thing when I say sorry or thank you to the other person. But the thing that I realized like I keep saying sorry or thank you to the people, but especially in a situation when I'm communicating with the adult person, elderly in my community, maybe on the bus or on the street, or maybe am I when I am communicating with the individuals in workplace. So I'm just saying like Jesus Mare, Jesus Mare or Anaba, kind of like that because at the time I'm not just saying the phrase that I want to, but I feel like I'm also expressing my full emotion to them, to get the real meaning or to get the efficient meaning, to them or kind of like that. So, but in situation or in casual conversation with my friends or family member or kind of like that, I'm just saying like, sorry, thank you. So my main point here is that the word whether you use another or sorry, I would say that uh, it would be depend on your personal preference and also your personal experience as well. And one important thing is that the situation in which you are interacting with the people, maybe in academic setting or in workplace, or maybe you're communicating with the people at the restaurant or at the cafe shop. So
Yeah, I think like some of the time we don't actually get the genuine feelings we're not actually like using a Burmese word like daily demand. And then when we actually heard the word instead of like thank you or sorry, we feel really genuine about their intentions and we can feel it, like we can feel the intentions. Yeah.
I hope it will be fun for you guys. So like let's think of like I will give you some scenarios or some situation like and think about like what we would say in that situation. Don can also think too. Okay. Okay, so let's think about like okay, first situation is let's say you are venting to a close friend, okay, close friend about maybe like your stress like how you are stressed about the papers or things like that, and you are talking for a long time, or maybe you might be even emotional, and you might have like some tears on your face or something like that, and that friend patiently listen to you, and he is also like giving you advices, and he's like just staying with you the whole time. And after you have came down, you look them and say, what would you say? Who want to go first? Anyone can go first.
Okay, I have a question. Like, who's the friends is? I mean, how close we are. That would depends on that, right? Being able to listen and being able to bend about something is super close, right? But being able to bend might be I can bend about my classes in part of me to a part of my friends. That's very easy. That doesn't have to be a very close friend. So, to in what extent are we close?
I see. So based on that, the answer could change, you mean?
Yeah, based on the answer, it could change. And if it is a very super close friends listening to the whole banning stories, I might give the person a hug, or I would be like, oh my god, you're so sweet. And I will be tears again with the love and with the support I receive. So that will be very, very heartfelt moment for me to receive a support from friends. And but when it's come to a very not super close friend, just like I gave example, this is just a I know him, and you know me, and this kind of friends, and I will be like, thank you so much, and I will be just keep on expressing how much I thanks to that person. So I will be keep on saying thank you, but I don't think I make you another in that kind of situation because I already banned a lot. I already ban. I might use anare before I ban. I'll be like, aro anare, but I will be talking nonsense starting from that. But when I finish banting, I'll be like, oh my god, thank you so much. And oh my god, thank you so much. I will be keep on saying thank you again and again. But before the banning, I will say anare, but I'll be doing ridiculous things to you.
Okay, I can totally understand that. Okay, so Minya, what about you? What would you say in that situation?
Yeah, like I said, that would depends on also yeah, that would depends on the relationship with the person, your relationship with the person as well. But most of the time I would say like, oh thank you for listening to all of my problems or kind of like that, blah 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 blah. Because like, you'll be listening to my problems, to my anxiety or to my situation, I can be stressed with your assignment or your relationship with your boyfriend or girlfriend or kind of like that. So you'll be listening the whole time. Maybe like kind of like for an hour or 2 hours sometimes you'll be listening to that, and then at the end of the call or at the end of the conversation you're just saying like, oh my god, I feel so relieved that I have a person like you who is listening to my problems, and just even though you are not giving any advice or any suggestion, you being there and just listening to my problem is so much relief to me and so much helpful to my situation. So I will be thankful for them for doing that. But I feel like, my instant response would be, oh, Anna like that. Oh, did I jive the drive on so but like I said, I don't Anna, but you just need to you just need to wait there and finish my conversation. You just need to listen all of my conversation, and then you can do anything you want. You can be anything you want, kind of like that. So that's one thing. And also, like like I mentioned, and also mentioned about the relationship. Your relationship with the person, with how how close are you two being in the situation, right? So maybe one of I'm talking with my closest friends or my best friend. I can literally tell anything, everything. That can be good or that can be bad or kind of like that. Or maybe that can be something about you robbing bank, or maybe that can be your conversation with your about your relationship, right? But maybe they might say like, are you not feeling honored or are you not feeling hesitant to tell those things to me? And I will be like, why not? Why would I? You're such a good friend to me, and you're best friend. I'm kind of like that, And even if you feel, if you want me to feel Anna there or kind of like that, and also, they have something to do or some assignment need to get done, but they have to also keep listening to our problems, and they say that oh, I have to do this then, but I'm feeling hesitant to stop you because you are in this such a fragile situation or emotional state, right? So that's why I did I couldn't stop you in the situation like that. So because I feel another, right? And I would be like, no, I don't care how you're feeling, how you're feeling, kind of like that. You're such a best friend, kind of like that. So much, we are so close to them, but whatever happens, whatever you're feeling sorry or you're feeling another or whatever you need to do, I don't care. You just need to finish listening to all my problems or kind of like that. So that's also the applies to the same in the situation as well, being another, kind of like that.
Okay, let's go into scenario two, the last scenario. Okay, like this time I wouldn't ask you to like what would you say in that situation, but instead I will ask you guys to choose between two sentences. Okay. Okay, first so the scenario is like this. So you have left someone message and read for days. Okay, it wasn't because you were ignoring them, but because you were overwhelmed, exhausted with your like maybe daily life or maybe your walks, paper, something like that, and you just needed the time. So, but now you're finally replying. In that situation, where you reply, sorry, like it's Anna Bare, I was forgetting to reply. Or maybe thanks for waiting for me and thanks, I just have time now. Which one would you choose? Nina, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. The first thing that pops up in my mind is that, I think that's kind of, some kind of format writing and informal writing, and, kind of like an email as well, right? Yeah, I usually use a lot. I usually, respond a lot, oh, sorry for my late reply, or kind of like that. In a conversation or in email or in another verbal communication as well. Sorry for my late reply, kind of like that. And also maybe when I am replying to the other person or to somebody in the workplace, it would be like, sorry, but for my reply. So the thing is, so it's more kind of like a more polite and more formal. Right? So, but thank you for waiting. Kind of like that. That would be kind of like a totally different for me. I don't find myself that I use such phrase a lot in every whatever form of communication, whatever it is, formal or kind of like that. Maybe that can be kind of like related to the instant response, right? So my always instant response is like sorry for my reply or kind of like that, da da da, and I will explain the situation why I wasn't being able to get back to that right away or kind of like that. So I think that the way that will explain the situation, I cannot reply to that right away, and then kind of like it, and that will clear the air so that they can understand, and then they would they will understand the situation that I was in, and they will appreciate it or kind of like that. So, but yeah, no, thank you for having waiting for me or kind of like that.
So how about eight? What would you say?
Can I have the third option as, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I really forget to reply, blah, blah, blah. I feel really emotional to not to to leave someone on red, but I did. If I have to give an example, I read someone message on, and then I leave the message for like I think 2 months. And then 2 months later, that person meet me in the Zoom, and that person say that I sent a message to you and you haven't replied me yet. And I was like, oh, really? But the thing is, I replied to that person in my mind. In Burmese, we say that manone sabyan lai milos. I really did that. I really replied to it. And when I was I'm writing the assignment, and I remember that, oh my god, that person is asking me that. I need to reply the person. And then I forgot. And then and 2 or 3 days or a week later, I remember that, oh, that person DM me. I need to reply to that. And then I forgot again. and I really replying in my mind was like, okay, I need to reply him with that and that and that. I need to talk to that things. I need to talk about that. And I was like, and then I forgot again. So I'm really faced that kind of situation before. And when I was in that situation, I was like, I say sorry for 1,000 times. I feel really sorry. They might be, waiting for my reply, but it's just like the communication channel I don't use very much. That's just because of that, and I feel really sorry, and I feel myself as a very rude person because I think I really know how frustrating it is to wait for a reply. I work with the kind of person. I was like, I keep saying very important things, and I need to wait for him confirmation to do some confirmation because he hasn't replied to me yet, and I need to wait for him. I know he might have a very busy schedule, and I do have a very busy schedule as well. And I was like, we're doing very important things. You are not the one that are always busy, and I'm the one who busy as well. But why I do have to wait you to reply me that amount of times? And I feel very, sometimes very angry, sometimes very frustrating. And then 2 months later, I become that person.
Hey, I think one thing we can say is that we all have been there. Yeah, it's like we, some of the time, like we thought we replied, but we didn't actually do it. We reply like we know exactly what we are gonna say. We reply in our mind, like you mentioned. I think we all have been there. And with today's with social media, like I think we just have to be very like mindful about it. Like they do have like something going on with their day. They might have something going on with their day, so they're actually just busy, or they forgot it. That we had to remind it again. Hey, I'm here. Come back again. Yeah. So this will be our like last question, final questions here. I'm so sad. I'm actually having a really good time with you guys. So the last question is that are there any moments like in your life you find it like hard to do the job done, or you find it like hard to process the word because someone is too like too shy, or like they're just being too ana to take initiative, or to just get into the process. And is there any moments, especially with like Burmese coworkers or Burmese students, because I think that you guys did mention something about like working with the foreign students. What about in Burmese context? Are there any scenarios from iPad? Nina, would you like to go?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the question. So I think I can vaguely recall my particular experience in such kind of to such kind of situation, but my overall my general response would be like my general response would be you just need to just need to oh wait, I will start again. Okay, so what I think that's a common one, right? That question kind of related to the most of the cases to everybody in whatever situation it is. But I vaguely recall my memories to the particular situation for my personal experiences. But my general response would be like, why don't you take a moment to realize the situation? And for example, especially how can I say, to your feeling, right? Are you feeling really hesitant to do or to accept support from the other person, or maybe you just need to express the gratitude to them, right? You need it. You need that support. You need that thing from the other person, but you just being shy, or you just being kind of sorry to accept that, right? But you really need it. Maybe at the time, just take a moment to reflect yourself, and then just express your gratitude to them. Oh, thank you so much. That's really helpful to me or to my work. And then you just keep going your work. So it's done and done. Or maybe some kind of situation can be twisted, or you don't even know what's the real situation is like. You may be in the ambiguous situation. Are you really hesitant to accept the support? Are you really feeling shy, or or maybe you don't really need the thing from them, right? So maybe at that time, that's kind of like maybe a target. You keep saying Anna there, and you keep denying the support from them, and then the thing cannot be the work cannot be done in time. So right, but my honest response would be is that like if you need something from them and they are giving a favor to you, just take it, and then just take a moment to express your gratitude to them and then appreciate the effort, and then you keep moving. It's done and done, right? Or maybe you need it but you feel shy to accept it. That might be kind of beyond the thing that you can do, you know how can I say, smoothly or kind of like. So yeah, I would say like just take a moment to reflect yourself, and then that you just decide to express your gratitude, or maybe you just need to just politely say sorry to them feedback like that, and then yeah.
Yeah. What about Thing? Do you have any experience with this? How would you handle this situation?
Yeah, totally. I have that. So it was not in the academic setting. It was in a professional setting in my workplace. So the leader is so busy. She's always packed up the schedule. So she barely even get a chance to reply on the messages. And when we do that, we need to wait for her confirmation to do something. So she is the key player in that because we need to wait for her. And then if we are not getting her confirmation, we cannot proceed. If we cannot proceed, the things will delay or very, very roundly. And then she becomes like, oh, what happened it then? Because I'm waiting for your reply. And she was like, you should just call me. And then, oh, right. But I feel very Anna to call her because I know that she's always busy with her schedule. Even in the nighttime, she has dinner to go. She have other work meetings that has been ongoing. So I feel very Anna to call her and talk to her. Amma, can you confirm that things? And I feel very honored to do that. So I don't do that. And then I would just patiently wait for her reply to confirm that things. And then the things that should be one on at Friday. And then this only can work on at Saturday because I wait for her confirmation. And then she was like, no, you shouldn't wait for me. You should have just called me. And then because I didn't call her just because I feel unhired. So that kind of thing happens a lot in the workplace because we know how super busy that they might be. So we will be a bit hesitant to call them to do this kind of thing. But even though some people are very welcome to do that, some people don't like this kind of thing, right? They will be like, why are you calling me? You should wait. You shouldn't do that, this kind of thing. Yeah, I have this kind of situation once because I feel very anxious to get a reply from one person, and that I know that that person might be a little busy, but I still need that reply. So I was like, I use the email as the main communication channel, and I talk to that person from other informal communication channel like Messenger, Signal, and this kind of things, and then I sent a message to that person. I was like, I sent you an email. Can you please kindly check it? And then the person was like, this is a bit informal to use the communication channel for our main communication. You shouldn't just randomly send a message to the person that you're waiting for a reply. They will reply when they have time. I was freaked out by that. I feel very Anna to do that, but even though I feel really sorry to that, she was so furious because I sent her a message to check to request her to check the email. She was like, I'm busy. I don't have time to reply immediately. And then by taking the situations, I just don't want to call her. But the leader was like, you have to call me to get the confirmation. This is important. We need to make it on time. So I would say in order to feel Anna, in order to feel hesitant by the feelings of Anna, I think we need to look for the times and circumstances. In which situation are we in? In which kinds of urgency are we in? Even though we feel very urgent for us, it might not be feel very urgent for other people. So I think it is really fussy situations to decide whether we should be Anna or not. So I would say this topic is very complicated because everyone has different opinions and everyone has different values on that kind of things.
Thank you so much. And you raised some like very excellent point here. We need to be very aware with like who we are communicating to and what are their preferences. Yeah, as you mentioned, like it's being anare or just trying to get the job done. There, it's very complicated. Yeah, sometimes we need to prioritize social cohesions, and sometimes it's not. We just have to get the job done. I think this is the end of our sessions today episode, the first episodes. So thank you so much to Nimya and Aim for coming and joining us and sharing your very valuable insight, thoughts, and your experiences.
Yes, thank you for having us. You know what, like the finance are kind of like a piece of cake, but this episode question kind of more kind of harder than the finance. So thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, that was really fun experience. Thanks for inviting us.
Okay. Okay, so thanks a lot, and I hope you two have already subscribed to our social media channels. This is a little bit threatening, but okay. I hope you guys have subscribed, and also like those who are watching us too, please make sure to subscribe us and like follow our social activities so you are not going to miss any episodes.
Yeah, and we highly encourage you guys to share your stories and like things that resonate with you in this episode. You can always DM us at the Instagram.